and Cyril is the chair of the Property Investors Bureau and also the founder of the Property Investors Awards, which this year will take place at the end of November in London, and it will be at the Grosvenor House Hotel, and there will be over 1,000 people attending this year's Property Investors Awards. So, hello Cyril.
Hello Richard, welcome to Colchester.
Thank you, a lovely, lovely day. Cyril, we're going to talk about the fact that now some 8 or so years ago, my colleague Kelly sat in this room with you doing a video interview and a subsequent published article in Property Investor News to talk about your journey at that time to 2016 and what you were doing, and part of that property portfolio that you were in the process of building at that time, or had built. One of those properties was exactly where we're sitting today.
Yes, you're right, but one correction though. Kelly, when she attended, very lovely lady by the way, she did not sit down because there were no seats in the space at that point in time. Actually, there were a lot of wires and machinery and all sorts of things because it was being developed out.
Yes, but now it's this particular part of the building, and just for viewers to understand, we are on the ground floor of a mixed-use building. So
so 3 stories.
Yeah.
So on the ground floor you have this half of the building, which is used as offices and a warehouse at the back.
Yep.
And then on the other side we have a commercial premises which is the same size.
Yes.
Which is being used as a garage for a tyre fitting company.
Right. And up above we've got.
And up above we have 4 flats, 4
Right.
2-bedroom flats,
Yep.
all of equal size and one with a balcony.
Yeah.
And then out the back you have parking for about 15 cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. And there's going to be a story in a podcast that will be launched in the pretty near future to accompany a print article that will be going into the September edition of Property Investor News, when much more detail will be explained about this particular project and what Cyril's been doing since. But Cyril, let's just go backwards before 2016 and just briefly explain how you first got into property today, and then what then led you to acquire this building, and very briefly what you've been doing since 2016.
Okay, so to try and be as brief as possible, going back before 2016.
Yes.
Yeah, so I graduated from the University of Essex.
Yes.
Whilst I was at the University of Essex, founded a small IT company.
Right.
In my penultimate year of university, took some of the profits from that to purchase my first 2-bed property down the road from here.
Yes.
Built up a mini portfolio at the time, started managing properties on behalf of other people too. Took a property portfolio of, I think, 12 management properties at the time,
Yes.
to 150 or so management properties within the space of a year after graduating, and then continued to build my portfolio. After buying a number of residential HMOs, etc., I went on to start investing in commercial property,
Yes.
one of which you are in today,
Yes.
and that's the one that Kelly interviewed me in
Yes, yes.
2016.
Correct.
Since then, I've continued to buy residential property and commercial, and my most recent purchase was at some point this year where we completed on the hotel, which is in the city centre.
Yes. Right. And we'll talk about that in much more detail in the upcoming podcast.
That's
Yes.
correct.
You briefly explained about this current project and just the flavour of the most recent project in terms of what it's about.
Okay, so that's fine. So the most recent project, like I said, the hotel, it's basically this, but just bigger.
Yes.
So there are certain elements, certain variables that were involved in this project, like there was an option involved. It was a tricky purchase. There were things I needed to rectify with the building before we can go in and get the funding for the building. Exactly the same with the hotel. So we got it on an option. We had to rectify certain things with the building. Then we managed to get the funding for the building, and the price that we finally paid for it worked out to be significantly below the actual market value.
Right. Well, if you want to learn more about that process and also how Cyril has continued to successfully build a property portfolio over that time since he finished university, I strongly suggest you listen to the upcoming podcast.
Thank you, Richard. I look forward to it.
Thank you. So Richard Bowers of Property Investor News with Cyril Thomas. Thank you.
Thank you.